Yeah, I'm tired of guys on YouTube asking women like, yeah, I'm tired of guys on YouTube asking women like, what do you rate this guy from 1 to 10? Who and what is her type? Like these guys don't really understand female nature, especially at its deepest level. You know, these guys think women are like us. Women don't necessarily have a type. Why think they be messing around with people with oogly eyes and grungy and just ugly and just terrible? Because they'll even mess around with dogs on some occasions if they're really just, you know, because they're not dynamic like us. That's what these people don't realize. She's just saying whatever just to fit the bill or whatever. That's what these guys realize. They don't really necessarily have a type. It's just, eroticism or whatever, you know. That's why they've been suppressed for, ages. Now I understand why there's arranged marriages because they understand the core, of female natures. That's why they had arranged marriages, especially in a Muslim and community and stuff, because they understand woman nature. They don't really have any boundary lines. They just choose whatever because whatever feels good. That's why you think they say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder because it doesn't subject to anything, or any contract. So it's like there's no like thing within it. Like there's no foundation. That's why they were treated as such and hold to a standard for centuries. Now you see today is the result of it. We're like in a Roman Empire damn near because of this stuff. Now I see why. Now it's really started to make sense. Like a woman's like type or whatever is based off her feelings, the tempo, and momentum during the moment. It's not really based on, looks or whatever, because you could see the people that they with and what they be watching, what they hearing. You got to look at the patterns because a lot of times they'll trick you. It sounds good on paper, not to bash them or whatever, or throw them on the bus, but that's just the truth. You got to look at the patterns, you know. It's just what it is. You got to see it. Yeah, like you could like a woman and you'd be like, oh, why did she choose this jerk? Or you could be, you know, having your stuff together and she chose a loser. It's just very weird, man. When it comes to them, it's not dynamic like us. Yeah, but lastly, why you think guys they'll choose like they'll desire the girl who's the hottest because ours is actually dynamic. It's a reason because the hotter the girl is, the more fertile she is, and the desirability and ranks amongst our mere peers. Women, it's not necessarily that, you know. It's just whatever, like, be like, oh, I like this guy or that. It's like they try to pick around it. It's like ours is straightforward. With them, they're never honest. That's just how they are. I think it's just to throw the animal kingdom off. And that's what they have done, and you see what it is now. So yeah, that's what it is. I agree with the last part at this point. That's not to talk to anyone regardless of her age, rather she's in her 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. Yeah, don't get caught up in a woman because you're going to get caught up in her crossfire and her chaos, of course, that she created or got unknowingly. So, especially to steer away from it and just follow our soulful path. Unless she wants to be saved and hear this information and like to be healed, then okay. Then other than that, we just got to just go forward because they're just gonna just confuse you and just leave you and just how it is with them. Just their nature, just their fickle nature. Unless she proves herself to us, we have to let her prove herself. She has to come to prove herself. Of course, come correct, but it's far and few between. You know,
I've wondered if slavery is the reason why a lot of women beat around the bush. You know, if slavery is the reason why women beat around the bush on, lying about the type of guys that they like and they go for the opposite of what they like because slavery is the reason for this, man, I would accept that answer. Because if they were like this from the beginning of time, way before slavery existed, that would be very messed up.
Yeah, Jules, I think it may go as deep because how come us guys we figure it out what to do with ourselves to rise in our true form, soulful vibrational information, but they're stuck. They go for the people that don't respect themselves, you know, that are just average or just do things that break apart their body and that are destructive, like treat themselves like a slave, like they like to be treated like a slave, like in the act. Like, why aren't they like you know, just I don't know what's up with them. Like, why aren't they just intact? Like, why do they keep lying? Like, why do they go to abusive people or certain people? Like, I don't know. Like, I think it's something that has to do with the DNA. Like, they done something to them. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if they don't know this too, but it's just deep and it's manifesting in this timeline that we are in. I don't know if their DNA has been mutated to choose people with weaker genes or whatever, or it must to do with slavery, of the abuse or whatever that just got into their DNA, and because it's not making any sense to me, just the way they think and how they do things. It's just so it's not making any sense, and the sense is not there. Like I don't see it within them. Like I don't know what it is. It's something with their DNA or whatever. Like it's not making sense. I don't know if it's epigenetics, because I don't know. Because they said that you could depression, you could actually be born with like depression, not be born with it, but like the chromosomes to uphill that emotions because it's impaired, or your brain from generation has passed down these traits, these accustomed traits. Probably come from slavery by seeing a male get beat and degraded, and instead of doing anything about it, they cope with it, you know, or they live in it because that's all they could do, and it's just in their DNA, I guess, to go for the weaker guys or guys who are a certain way, or that anger from the guys who couldn't fight, so they go for these type of guys. Like this is crazy. Goes deep.
Man, it's really messed up for real because it's going to be very, very sad to find out like factual information that women have been, these human looking women have been mixed signal individuals from since beginning of time, and it did not happen from the eras of slavery to modern day slavery, because we know ever since slavery to modern day slavery has happened, a lot of women, these human looking women, have been the types to be like mixed signal type of individuals. Like especially you see it in the women that's like in their 20s, 30s, 40s, but mostly women in their 20s the most, giving the mixed signals and stuff like that, not being honest about what type of guys they like. And you see a lot of those women that don't be honest about what they like, man. Like they'll have sex with animals and all that stuff, like, and they'll use dildos that's like, looking like an octopus or different monsters and stuff like that. So it really shows you a lot of women don't really have no type for real, bro. So like, if women in beginning of time actually are intimately attracted to a guy, not because it's in the moment, or it's really because like, man, bro, this stuff, like if women in beginning of time were truly themselves, meaning like if they're intimately attracted to a dude, it's not because of a particular moment. Like it's like long term, you know what I'm saying? But now, ever since slavery and modern day slavery, like women, a lot of women, they'll be intimately attracted to a guy for the moment, and it's not really for long term reasons.
I know there could be women who had certain cues that were probably off centuries ago, but you didn't really see it. But now it's like they're at a greater level of just degeneracy and just wickedness that they just be doing. I mean, they could be honest of certain things, but now it's like they're just more mixed signal. Like it's just weird, Like I think back in the 1700s, even though it was slavery, they still had that pilgrim image. So I don't know if they were hiding all that animosity, and it's been, manifested now. We got to look at the artifacts and the statues to see what's up. We got to look at, all that. We got to go back in time to see what's up. We got to look at music if it was the same, or, like are they for the serpent? Like it would be very disappointing to hear all that. But we really got to, dive deep and backtrack, because, man, this is deep. This is crazy. Because something always stems from somewhere. Because the way these women are now, it's like they're mixed signal, you know, they're backhanded, covert, but in a very like evil way. Like just it's just crazy. Like to throw you off. Like it's just not even normal. But then when you figure out what they are, like kind of scary. Not scare you because she's a whole nother like monster, a beast that she's hides instead of just being honest. Like we're in the 21st century. Like what are you scared of? Like it just they just don't even. I don't know what's up with them. Like we're just, man, in a sunken pit. Like just now, man. I don't know if there was like this all these centuries, man. It's just insane how it is now. Damn, they break it down to how, you're special to them, and then they open themselves up to you, and you do it to them, and then they just discard you and leave you confused, man. That's just, man, bro, that's messed up, man. That is cruel, man. Like, I don't know why they do that. If they get a kick off of it, it could be due to trauma or things that happened to them when they were younger, but that can't really be an excuse to why they're so crazy. I mean, they need to heal, but it's like you already opened yourself up to the guy or whatever. You told him you're interested and he's this and that. You was vulnerable, but then it's like you want to turn it away from him, then leave him hurt and scarred. Like, nah, it's crazy. Yeah, man, like they just talk to us just for the moment in time and then just run off and just, scatter away like a roach and never to be seen from them again or heard. No messages, no response, no emails, no calls, FaceTime or nothing. They just leave you. They get that energy, that exchange, and they're just gone, man. It's just crazy. And they'll never let you know, like, I don't know what's up with them. I think it's the phones, like it's computing them to just, you know, computerize things fast and then leave. Like, but before there was no technology like that, so they were ready to build and grow with things because it was just natural course of nature. It wasn't rooted in time to get things fast. Man, it's just crazy how it is. We're already in our best light, but if they want to see us in our supreme or be on our side, they're gonna have to come to the throne. Of course, figuratively speaking, they're gonna have to prove themselves and change it because they're a part in the hands of the system, whether they know it or not. Because why did it go on? You know what I'm saying? Why are we alone as these spiritual, soulful guys? Because it's not on us. We just gotta follow and do what we do as high vibrational guys. Because these women, bro, no matter what you put in no box you put them at, they're just lost causes, man. And it just proves us wrong, and it just never fails. So they have to do their due diligence